A beautiful take of a beautiful city. Guadalajara, Jalisco, La Perla Tapatía. As far as Catholics are concerned, and the other religion is that had the idea to put this together.
About 38% with his fastball. He'll cut the fastball. He'll sink it. He'll throw a slider. He'll throw a curveball and a changeup. Mostly changeups to the left-handed batters. He won't throw many changeups to the right-handers.
He spent 8 seasons, as I mentioned, with Serie Nacional, and highly competitive level of baseball in Cuba. He won 61. Lost 43, ERA of 3.55, and 690 strikeouts, and almost 400 walks.
That's why he's getting the ball here today for Lorenzo Bundy, the manager of the Mexico squad, is because he has pitched a lot of international baseball. He's pitched in the Caribbean Series. He's pitched in the World Baseball Classic. He will not be in awe of what's going on here this afternoon. He knows it's a must-win, and he'll go out there and pitch his best game.
And he's not a guy that's going to nibble in the strike zone. He's going to come right after you.
And that's going to be key for him. I mean, he's going to have to throw some strikes because the key to throwing strikes is that allows you to expand the strike zone, and that's when you get the offensive players to start to chase some pitches.
We're just about ready here in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Zapopan to be exact. Esteban Florial in left field, ready to fly as well, but all of the confidence deposited right here in the Cuban right-hander as we get going. Let's kind of go over the lineup here for Panama. Carlos Sepúlveda is going to lead the way, then Alan Córdoba, Rodolfo Amador, Jose Ramos. I gave you the Culiacán lineup, but it's Jose Ramos leading the way. Johan Camargo, Johnny Santos, Cristian Bentacur, Luis Castillo, Jean Arnaez, Ryan Burrows, Adrian Sugaste is going to be behind the dish as Panama coming to the plate. First pitch, start him off with the strike.
It's going to be a lot of fastballs. I told you that he throws about 72% fastballs. Either it's the cutter, the two-seamer, or the four-seamer.
And he goes right after him again, so starting off 0-2 defensively speaking. Out on the field for Mexico, you're going to have Florial in left field, Córdoba in center, Drake in right, Amador, Verdugo, Sepúlveda, Meneses in the infield. Hot shot, foul. And behind the plate, Uriarte with Despagne on the hill.
And Despagne already showing some of his creativity on the mound by dropping down on the second pitch of the contest to a sidearm angle. We'll see quite a bit of that today.
And the 0-2 pitch just misses.
Something else that he likes to do with 2 strikes, because he does throw 93 miles an hour, and they do a lot of this in the United States. They like to elevate the fastball to see if they can get swings and misses up top.
2-2 count then it started off. But we see this Despagne. The focus, he knows he just let one slip out of that hand. Let's see what he throws here. The 2-2 count. Grounder to second. And going down the route 4-3.
Very colorful uniforms that the Mexico squad is wearing this afternoon.
Yeah, I love it. A lot of tradition here with those colors, the flowers. And, of course, it's very traditional, but I still kind of dig Charros de Jalisco's a little bit more.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because they have that sort of emblematic Aztec sort of threading in it. It looks great. Now, Johan Camargo yesterday didn't look so great at the beginning of the game, but his swing got better as things went on. And Camargo, one of the elements that got a base knock against Charros de Jalisco. The first pitch from Despagne gets in there, strike.
And Camargo played several years in the major leagues. And played on the World Championship Braves team. Spent 5 years with the Atlanta Braves.
The pitch, just a bit outside, so he tries to work a little off-speed out there. But Camargo, also a man with a lot of experience. You're talking about this infielder, played 7 seasons in Major League Baseball with the Braves, the Phillies, the Giants across 2017 to 2023. He's most known for his game with the Braves, where he played 5 seasons. And his best season came in 2018. He batted .272 with 19 homers, 76 ribbies, and an .806 OPS.
Despagne working very quick, and that's why Camargo calls timeout to slow him down. He is just getting the ball and firing it toward home plate, and several of the Panama hitters will start to call timeout to slow him down.
And Despagne is slowing himself down just to collect his thoughts, maybe tighten up that belt, tighten up that strike zone. Joey Meneses at first base. A lot of talk about Meneses joining the Mexican national team there. Benji Gill and company for the World Baseball Classic, reminding you we're going to have the official rosters for you on MLB Network. The pitch. Oh, got away from Despaigne. Tried to get a little creative there with the curveball in the dirt. There's the veteran Camargo, not having it, not moving with it, not biting on it. Let's see it again. Uriarte back there doing his work. And speaking of Mexican catchers, when it comes to that position, I'll tell you in a second, Camargo fouling off the pitch, staying alive now at 3-2. When we talk about Alejandro Kirk leading the way for the Mexican national team there in World Baseball Classic, what an addition for Benji Gill on that squad. Here's the pitch. And that's going to get away from Despaigne, so he got a little creative there. Instead of pounding that fastball, remaining with it, he decided to throw a couple of breaking balls, one in the dirt, and then this one just gets away. He's going to get that walk.
Well, you mentioned Kirk, who will be pitching for the Mexico squad, who also participated in the World Series. He brings veteran leadership, not only from behind the plate, but he's also a really good hitter, and he'll help stabilize the lineup for Mexico. In 2023, Mexico had a tremendous World Baseball Classic.
And, of course, catching behind the dish, Alejandro Kirk, one of the best surgeons in all of baseball. The way he frames, and we saw there as Uriarte tried to frame it up nicely, but just missing outside the zone was the Despaigne runner on first base, top of the first, as Panama's already trying to do something they couldn't do last night, which is get it going in the first inning. Here's another base knock, 2 men aboard already. Rod Allen, this is exactly what Jose Mayorga wanted to see from his Federales de Chiriquí.
Well, they need to get off to a good start. That much we do know, because they did not play a good game last night. They were down by a bunch very early, looking like they want to take a lead here in the very first frame. Here's a breaking ball that's up in the strike zone, actually a two-seamer that he stays down very nicely on Dos Santos and gets himself a nice knock in the left field.
You saw Florial play that high bounce. And we noticed that a little bit right over yesterday also. It was at Filial. A couple of players just missed playing. Base knocks into the outfield. They take sort of a high bounce. And that may be something to observe as we move forward through this game, because those little details show up in the wash later on. Cristian Bentancur coming to the plate now, the DH. A couple of runners on, one down. The pitch.
You know, not to make any excuses for the players, but a lot of times when you're playing in competition like this, you're not taking batting practice on the field that you play on. Therefore, the infielders, they don't know just how fast the grass is or how quick the dirt is. And some of you outfielders as well, they don't know how the ball is going to move on the ground when it's coming toward them. So that's some of the things that you learn during batting practice, but they normally don't take batting practice on the fields they play on.
The pitch. Oh. And the umpires in the stands thought it was a strike. I don't know. Looked like one to me, but it's 1-2. What do you think?
Good pitch, no doubt. And the fact that he will go inside with 2 strikes. If you're Despaigne, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a ground ball. That's why he's working at the bottom of the zone. He's trying to get the number 4 hitter, Bethancourt, to pound one into the turf so he can get a ground ball and get 2 to get out of this inning.
Cristian Bentancur has a 2-2 count. 6'3", 200-pounder, 34 years of age. And he was also a version of Shohei Ohtani, one of the first versions. The guy pitched, and as well as being a position player, being a catcher. And they appealed at first base. Nothing there, says Kelvin Vélez. It's 3-2 again.
He didn't go. It's a good take. An early decision for the Panama squad. You got the bases loaded. You got a 3-2 count. You got a double play candidate in the batter's box. Do you dare start the runners? I'm going to say they don't start the runners here.
And another guy that comes to mind that was a catcher converts to a pitcher, Kenley Jansen. Had a pretty good career, no? A nice switch up.
Possibly Hall of Fame.
And the all-time leader in saves there with the Dodgers, so on and so forth. And just a big-time pitcher. But again, he started with the rocket behind the dish. This man today, he's not behind the plate. Adrian Sugaste will handle that responsibility this afternoon. So Cristian DHing and looking to come up big time here with 1 down, 2 aboard, 3-2 count, fouls it off, staying alive.
Good pitch, a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. He's got that low, a 3/4 arm slot, and by delivering it from that angle, it gets a natural run in on the right-hander. He's ran a couple of balls in on the hands of Bethancourt in this at-bat.
Bethancourt played across 8 seasons in Major League Baseball with the Braves, Rays, Padres, A's, Marlins, and the Cubs, trying to apply that experience here. Also played the Caribbean Series with Dominican Republic back in 2018 here. Took a picture without a smile right there. That was a nice pitch by the Spaniard.
That's a great pitch. I mean, after coming with the two-seam fastball at 92, he comes back with the breaking ball, and he freezes Bethancourt. Bethancourt tried to trot down to first base, but the home plate umpire, Ruben Ramos, was not having any of that. He called it a strike, and it was a strike, and a beautiful pitch by Despaigne. Big
2
pitch.
down. Yes, and he needed it. Now the left-handed hitter, Luis Castillo, coming to the plate. Still 2 runners out, but 2 down, and immediately gets into the strike zone, slides it in there. I remember Chase Headley one time talking about Despaigne. When he first arrived, he said, we were expecting a nibbler from what we had heard, and then all of a sudden you face this guy, and he's just pounding rockets into the zone. The ball's going to get away from Uriarte. Runners are going to advance to second and third, but 2 outs nonetheless. Uriarte says, mala mía. Let's check the remix here, Rod.
And looked like Uriarte a little late getting down. That ball went right through the 5-hole. You've got to get the glove down. There's no way that ball should go through your legs.
Yeah, catchers do not like getting nutmegged, that's for sure. The pitch from Despaigne for Luis Castillo. Castillo jumps on it a little bit early, fouling it off, but Luis Castillo signed with the Tigers as an international free agent back in 2006. Never made the big leagues. He went as high as AA with the Tigers in 2013.
I told you earlier that Despaigne likes to throw changeups to the lefties. He hasn't really thrown any yet, and we'll see if he uses that pitch to get down here. And catcher set up inside, usually that's an indication that it's going to be a cut fastball or a 4-seam fastball inside.
The 1-2 pitch from the Cuban.
It was a fastball inside. Sometimes the catchers with certain hitters will tell you exactly what the pitch is. Sometimes when they set up away, it'll either be a cut fastball or a changeup to the left-handed batter.
Chopper to second. Handled easily by Sepulveda, and Despaigne gets out of the mini jam to start things off. Tomateros go for the wood. Federales for the 11th. Reached single A with the Giants in 2023. He takes the mound for Panama. Federales de Chiriquí, and he will face Carlos Sepulveda to start things off for Tomateros de Culiacán, Mexico Verde.
And Sepulveda can really run, and that's why Camargo, the third baseman, playing about 5 steps in on the grass. He's anticipating that Sepulveda might just try to bunt.
And you're looking at the batting champ this year in Mexico. The guy hit 365, if I got that correctly. 395. There you go. So I switched that number.
Yeah, you shortchanged him. He hit 395, nearly 400.
My goodness. Easy now, Tony Gwynn. The pitch. I'm still convinced, Rod, that had there not been that situation back in 94, Tony Gwynn would have hit 400.
I don't think so.
He was close.
And he's a great player. I mean, it's a 400 is tough to do, man. I love Tony,
You don't
too.
think it'll ever happen again?
It could. No, it's not going to happen again. Not the way these pitchers are these days. I take that back. It's not going to happen again. The major league average right now in the major leagues is about 230, 235 because the pitching is so good.
Yeah,
it's never been harder to hit major league pitching than it is today. Never been harder.
The 2-2 pitch here in the bottom of the first. Garcia for Sepulveda. Sepulveda fouling it up, staying there. So a guy like Luis Arraez.
Yes.
You know, you see that he just sprays the around. That's what they call him, La Regadera. He sprays it around the whole field. Doesn't go for the power. Tony Gwynn never went for power, but Tony Gwynn always said that had he opted to hit it out, he might have been able to put up power numbers, but he preferred to be that guy that would hit and hit and hit and get base knocks without having to count on the home run. The 2-2 pitch, but he did hit a bomb against the Yankees in the World Series. The pitch, and I thought that game, the Padres are going to win. That series in '98 was going to be a lot different, and then Tino Martinez didn't get that called strike. And the rest is history. The Yankees go on to broacious the Padres.
And Sepulveda, one of those guys that walked more than he struck out. He walked 51 times, only struck out 4 times. Doesn't hit for a lot of power. 45 strikeouts, excuse me. Just 2 home runs, but he puts that ball in play. He played for Lorenzo Bundy, the manager of the Mexico team. And the Reds, as a matter of fact, they won the championship.
Yep.
Mexico City Reds.
And 69 games, though. You hit literally 400.
Yeah, that's no small sample size.
The pitch. Good knock. Tony Gwynn style trying to find the 5.5, but excellent there at third base. Good job by Camargo. Let's take a look at the lineups in case you're just joining us here. Sepúlveda, Córdoba, Amador, the first 3 hitters. Joey Meneses, Yadier Drake, Esteban Florial. In that middle part, Mendoza, Verdugo, Uriarte will close it out. Bottom part of the lineup for Tomateros de Culiacán, Mexico Verde, led by Lorenzo Bundy. So Alan Córdoba steps in. And it's an 0-1 count already. Don't mind the scoreboard. The pitch. Oh, swing and a miss. Threw a little nastiness inside. Garcia has some life to it.
And Garcia's got a breaking ball that he throws from a sidearm angle. He also has a 2-seam fastball. You just saw that pitch that he ran into the hands of Cordoba.
The 0-2 pitch for the former Padre. And he takes just a bit outside, 1-2.
And Garcia really wearing his pants high. And these young kids, man, they like to and they wear their pants really high, as he does on the mound. Just 23 years old. Comes a breaking pitch, curveball.
And Córdoba, line drive into right field. And he's going to get on base for Tomateros. They are in business. And Alan Córdoba, again, just in the majors, just batted over 208. But in Caribbean Series, the guy is good for 340. Santos, Ramos, Castillo in the outfield. Camargo, Dennis, Burrows, Arnaiz in the infield. And the battery, Sugaste with Garcia. So now it's Rodolfo Amador. He's been playing professionally in Mexico since the start of the 2012 season. He's celebrated 1,700 games now in the Mexican League, Mexican Pacific Winter League, and the Caribbean Series. And this is his 3rd appearance in Serie del Caribe. He's got Córdoba on first base, decent wheels, the pitch. And he just missed on that one. Córdoba taking a good lead now. He's going to go. Hit and run. Hot shot, but that was good. Lorenzo Bundy got him that jump to avoid the double play at the very least.
That's key. Yeah, that's very, very key to put a runner in motion, stay out of the double play. And Mexico trying to score a run in the very first frame.
Take a look at it again. So now in runner in scoring position for Tomateros. And looking to register it with Joey Meneses coming to the plate. the man that played 3 seasons for the Nationals. And they call him Joey Bats there in Mexico as well. And like a bat out of you-know-where, he came on to the major league scene.
If you're Drake, if you're Garcia, you really don't have to pitch to Meneses in this situation. You've got a base open. He's batting in that number 4 spot for a reason. If you make a mistake, he might put 2 runs on the board in a hurry. So you really don't have to give him anything to hit.
The pitch, and this is ticks 2-0. So now favorable count for a guy that swings the way he does at 33 years of age. The man from Culiacan, Sinaloa. Big boy, 264, 235. Had a great season back in 2022. He hit .324 with 13 homers, 34 ribbies in just 56 games with the Nets. The 2-0 pitch with Alan Cordova on second. You got to see it fires. Meneses lifts it into the outfield, and that will do it. First inning done. 0-0 to start things off at Estadio Panamericano in Zapopan, Jalisco. We'll be back. Back to the 2026 Caribbean Series presented by DirecTV. We're at Estadio Panamericano, Zapopan, Jalisco, Serie del Caribe 2026. Thank you for joining us. Top of the second. And 0-0. Both sides getting runners on base. Nothing to show for it early. Hot shot to third. Well played. Well done. And Amador fielding his spot. But that's why they call it the hot corner. Came in hot there.
And the nice thing about playing the hot corner, you know you've got a lot of time over there. Even if you don't field the ball cleanly, once you pick it up, you know you have time to get the ball across the diamond because the ball was hit so sharply. And that's exactly what Amador did there. Sometimes you got to play it just like you're a catcher. Just knock it down.
And how important is it for Amador having that rivalry with Charros, having played here quite a bit now to understand how that infield is going to roll. He played it nicely, given the heat behind it. Burrows at the plate now for Federales de Chiriquí. De España offers just a bit outside. Burrows signed with the White Sox as an international free agent back in 2022. The pitch. Oh, big swing and a miss. 2-2 now. He split time between Winston-Salem in Class A and then Single A also in Canapolis in 2025. So according to MLB Pipeline, Burrows was a top 30 prospect in the White Sox system in 2023 and 2024. So
Despagne not happy with this last pitched, not called a strike. It's at the bottom of the zone. It's a nice job by Uriata, the catcher, pulling it up into the zone. But maybe he pulled it up too aggressive to get the call from Ruben Ramos, the home plate umpire.
Look at Despagne flashing the piel. Fine Cuban leather. Retires Burrows. 2 down.
If you're the Panama team and you're hitting against Despagne, you pretty much have to pick a side. Either you're going to look inside or you're going to look outside. He's got 6 different pitches. He hasn't thrown the same exact pitch on 2 different occasions, so he's mixing his pitches up very nicely.
The 1-0 pitch.
And what I mean by pick a side, you look inside your entire at-bat or you look away your entire at-bat.
So Gaste grounded to third base. But we've already seen Amador vacuums that hallway very nicely, and Despagne does.
Including live game look-ins and exclusive player interviews.
That was the MVP of the game right there. How fun is this show?
Enjoy the home of baseball from virtually anywhere.
Have yourself a night.
Scan now to stream MLB Network for just $5.99 a month.
The world is watching.
He will be part of Team Japan.
He's going to represent the Dominican Republic.
We're going there with one mission.
The 2026 World Baseball Classic roster reveal, Thursday at 7 Eastern, only on MLB Network. The Caribbean Series continues on MLB Network. See which nation has what it takes to claim Winter Fall's international crown. The Caribbean Series continues tonight on MLB Network.
And we're back. Estadio Panamericano in Zapopan, Jalisco. Yadir Drake coming to the plate. Bottom of the second, Garcia offers, sneaks it in there, strike one. Yadir Drake originally played in the Dodgers system in 2015 and 16 before playing in Mexico and Japan over the next decade. Playing in the Mexican League since the start of the 2018 season. He takes, and it's 1-1.
He looks hitterish up in the batter's box. He looks like he can do some damage with that bat. He also played for Cuba in the World Baseball Classic just 3 years ago.
Man that came over from Leones de Yucatan from Matanzas, Cuba. And he tries to kill it there. Foul.
That's a well-located breaking pitch thrown by Garcia at the bottom of the zone. And not a whole lot that Drake could do with that pitch where it was located.
The 1-2 pitch to the man that had a couple of base knocks and 4 at-bats in the first matchup for Tomateros. Strong take there, 2-2, so Garcia having to do some work to get him out. The 2-2 pitch to the Cuban. Full count.
Drake kind of starts with the open stance, and then he kind of goes up onto his toes and gets his balance before he starts his swing. So he's got a nice pitch, a pre-pitch routine that gets himself in a really good balanced position to get some good exit velocity through the strike zone.
Drake, chopper to third. And fired over to first, and that is a good job again by Camargo. It almost got him, but he was able to adjust the body and fire it over.
And ball had some top spin on it. And he really had no time to come in or go back. So he basically just had to stand pat and wait for the baseball to get to him. A lot of times at third base, either you can come in or you can go back on balls, but Camargo had no time to do neither of those.
And that'll bring up Esteban Florial, a man that played 5 seasons in Major League Baseball for the Yankees and Guardians from 2020 to 2024.
He's aggressive.
He is already, the 28-year-old jumping all over it from Barahona, República Dominicana.
He led off for Lorenzo Bundy's team just a couple of days ago. Mexico Verde had the day off yesterday after dropping a gut-wrenching loss to the Puerto Rican team on Sunday.
Takes strike 2, and it's interesting. I know you've seen, we've all seen the movie Top Gun. Remember, Sundown goes to Maverick. Could have had him. Could have had him. They could have had him, but Puerto Rico showing some character and fight all the way to the end and clawing the victory away from Tomateros. 0-2. And Florial's not going to chase there. The man that spent the 2025 Mexican League season for El Águila de Veracruz. And he hit .250, 11 homers, 32 RBIs in 65 games. And he didn't do so well with Los Mochis during the winter. Only hit .194. The pitch, Florial. Siéntate. So Garcia, Rod Allen, is able to find a little bit of what we call veneno.
The key for him so far is the fact that he's been able to get ahead. And because he's been able to get ahead, you can get a good hitter like Florial chasing that fastball at the bottom of the zone because you can get him to expand after you're throwing strikes. And he's been doing that. A big difference from yesterday.
Garcia to Mendoza. Mendoza takes, and it's 1-0.
Seems like Mexico coming out playing a little tight today in a must-win game.
A little bit. And this guy, Made numerous appearances in the Caribbean Series, most recently in 2021. Victor Mendoza going 1 for 7. Here he needs to do something and react and help things for Tomateros and Lorenzo Bundy's side from Obregón, Sonora, Mexico. Plays for Sultanes in the regular season Summer League in Mexico. The pitch from Garcia to Mendoza. And the focus a little bit different. You see the game faces for Panama. Understanding what happened yesterday after getting shelled by Charros de Jalisco early on. But there the name of the game was the amount of walks that we saw. I mean, there were free trips left and right.
Yeah, very difficult to win a game when you walk as many as Panama walked last night against Mexico Rojo. And you got to give the Mexican team a lot of credit. They were very patient. Early in the game, they made the pitchers throw strikes.
Mendoza chopping it to second. He'll be retired, and that will be all for Tomateros here in the bottom of the second inning. We are still 0-0 in Zapopan, Jalisco. Caribbean Series 2026 on MLB Network. Fires, delivers, and it's a base knock to start things off for Austin Dennis. He's aboard here in the top of the third. Let's see it again there. Rod Allen jumped on the first thing offered.
Not waiting around, batting ninth. Know he's going to get a strike. He got a fastball right down the middle, and he didn't let it pass. 91 miles an hour, nice easy swing, and he got himself a leadoff single. See if Panama wants to play a little bit more aggressive, either with a sacrifice bunt or hit and run. They got to do something to score some runs.
And already jumping on the first offering from De España is Ramos, driving it to center. And immediately Cordova firing it in there as Dennis was just inclined to take a look. Maybe would have been deep enough, but definitely not. That's going to bring up Johan Camargo, who will be representing, according to all accounts, the man from Panama City will be representing Panama in the World Baseball Classic. He also played for Panama in the 2024 Caribbean Series. Despite his big league experience in Caribbean Series, didn't do so well. 161 that year, 5 hits and 31 at-bats across 8 games. España there just changes it up on him, singing that the first 2 hitters jumped all over the first offering.
That's a great observation on your part.
And now he goes right after him, fouling it back, and it's 1-1. So that was a nice little challenge.
Good pitch. It's a cutter. It's 89 miles an hour. He throws it. It looks like it's right down the middle. If you're Camargo, you start your swing, and by the time you finish your swing, that ball is in off the plate on your hands. And they're playing Camargo to pull in the infield.
Amador well off of the bag at third. Throwing over to first base, seeing that Dennis again leaning a little towards second base, and España wants to keep him honest, working with Menezes. See it again.
And just like the United States, the pitcher, they get 2 engagements when there's a runner on base.
And Camargo fouling it off, and now we're working with the 1-2 count. And Camargo's been there, done that. We mentioned what he's done with Panama. He's also played for the Dominican Republic. He did it in 2021 during the Caribbean Series. The 1-2 pitch here in the top of the third. Austin Dennis at first. Misses inside.
If you're Dennis at first base, you know that Despagne throws a lot of breaking pitches. And should he bounce one, you have to get a good secondary lead, which would allow you to get to second base if he does bounce one of those breaking balls. You have to anticipate that if you're Dennis on first base.
Let me ask you a question. Would you have used an oven mitt if it was available to you?
Probably.
Yeah. A lot of old school guys would just grab that batting glove and just hold on to that.
That's what I used to do, but had they had those oven mitts, I probably would have used one of those too.
The 2-2 pitch. And Camargo lifts it to short right. And Gadir Drake with tricks and all gets that second out.
The reason why we used to take the batting gloves and put them in our hands when we got on first base and it would clutch a fist is because a lot of times when you slide, you put your hand down on the ground, and so many of us were like our wrists were hurting. And so you put that glove in your hand and it helps you. And that's why they wear the oven mitt, to prevent themselves from breaking fingers and whatnot.
We were looking at that roundabout, the famous roundabout de los Niños Héroes. Tell you that story as the game goes on, because it's honoring some very brave children during a very tough time in the history of Mexico. The pitch misses inside for Johnny Santos. Santos started off well, has a base knock already. He got himself on board in the first inning. He's never played in the majors. Reached AAA. That's as far as he's gotten with the Marlins back in 2019. Here he takes that curveball. And the umpires in the stands thought it was a strike. Despaigne thought it was a strike, but not Ruben Ramos, the man behind home plate.
And that pitch only 77 miles an hour. It's the slowest pitch that Despaigne has thrown so far this afternoon. So he goes anywhere from 77 miles an hour with the breaking ball all the way up to 94 miles an hour. So he's got several speed differentials. And you know what else he does, Adrian? He changes speeds on just about everything that he throws.
See what he throws here. Smack to short. Well played. Backhand. Nice. Verdugo. Some fine Mexican leather at short there being displayed to get that third out. So Despaigne leaves a runner stranded in Austin Dennis. And see it again. Verdugo also part of talks and conversations, possibly joining the Mexican national team in World Baseball Classic because of plays like this.
On MLB Network.
And we're back to Serie del Caribe. México Verde. Tomateros de Culiacán versus Federales de Chiriquí, representing Panama. Luis Verdugo representing Mexico well and representing all good shortstops with that fine play to close it out.
He showed some arm strength on that play. I mean, that's a tough play because you're way in the hole, but he had a strong arm.
And now he has himself a strong base knock up the middle. And he's aboard. So Verdugo making a name for himself already, like I mentioned, on the way out towards the break. One of the guys mentioned as a possibility to join the Mexican team in the World Baseball Classic. See it again, the man from La Paz, Baja California, who at 25 years of age belonging to the Padres organization.
He's got that short leg kick, but he gets it down in time to put a good swing on that ball right back up the middle. And second hit of the afternoon for the Mexico squad.
And now Uriarte, the catcher, squaring up to bunt. And he fouls it off, so Garcia just offered it. And Uriarte.
I had a conversation with Lorenzo Bundy a couple of days ago before the series started, and I was asking him, would you utilize the bunt, and would you hit and run, and would you steal? He said, yes, I will do all of those things to help our team win a ball game. So they're trying to get a runner in the scoring position. Looks like runs might be at a premium this afternoon.
And the man that was in the Mets farm system, fouling it off again. Now he's got himself an 0-2.
A lot of times when you square as soon as Uriarte is squaring, it's tough. I mean, it's better to wait until the ball's on its way and then kind of turn and gradually get into your bunting position. I don't think he's bunting here with 2 strikes.
And it's Uriarte that played there at El Águila de Veracruz, batting .250, 11 homers, 32 RBIs in 65 games. The 0-2 pitch from Garcia.
If you're Garcia, you want to throw a high fastball just in case he is attempting to bunt.
First he threw the resbalosa, the slider, just a bit outside and low, away, and of course, Uriarte not biting. 1-2 with Verdugo at first base. Loads the chamber, fires. Uriarte fouling it off, staying alive. Uriarte just hit just over 190 for Los Mochis during the winter across 39 games. Lorenzo Bundy was looking for some reinforcements there behind the dish as well. Sepúlveda on deck, ready to go for Tomateros de Culiacán. Carlos Sepúlveda, the batting champ for Diablos Rojos del México in 2025. The pitch at 1-2. Staying alive, like John Travolta, staying alive. And that's what both teams says. If you're just joining us, both are trying to stay alive in this tournament. It's already live with Dominican Republic leading the way with 2 wins. And Mexico Rojo, Tomateros, arch nemesis, Charros de Jalisco, also splitting 1-1, and Puerto Rico as well. Puerto Rico beat these guys, Tomateros, in the opener on Sunday, only to suffer a loss against Dominican Republic. Siéntate! Hate him. And that was veneno puro, pure venom.
And good two-seam fastball here by Garcia. It ties up Uriarte and really tied him up. His second strikeout.
So that will bring up Sepúlveda. 1 down, runner on first for the batting champ. He almost found a hit in his first at-bat into that 5.5 hole, but it was a really nice play by Camargo to avoid the base hit. If not, he would have been in business from the start here. So Carlos Sepúlveda, 29 years of age, from Monclova.
Outstanding first pitch strike by Garcia. And wrapped that breaking ball right around the plate. Shaved the outside corner.
There's a work it outside again, and this time misses 1-1.
And when you have a guy like Garcia standing in the batter's box that makes as much contact as he does, he hit .395 during the summer and won a batting title. You're not going to trick him on most occasions, so you may as well throw it over the plate and let him get himself out, the way they used to have to do with your guy, Tony Gwynn.
It's funny you say that. I got one of my favorite baseball stories of all time. Here's the pitch, fouls it off, but Greg Maddux was the guy to figure him out, and he said, well, the only way to get Tony Gwynn out was to throw it down the middle, because he took account about every single thing and every possibility except that pitch, the one down the middle.
Absolutely.
Said every hitter except that, and he threw a nice little colorful word in between that. Tony Gwynn, that guy was a tough out. Well, he was a tough out for that whole entire Braves legendary staff. 1-2 here for Sepúlveda, who's very Gwynn-like.
It was nice to see Andrew Jones get into the Hall of Fame. And now that Braves team, I mean, man, they got 6 guys. I mean, the manager, Hall of Fame, and they got tons of players, 3 pitchers, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, 6 Hall of Famers on that Braves teams. And the general manager, John Sherholtz, as well.
Bobby Cox obviously was such a great leader. But let me ask you this. Dale Murphy, for my money, he's just a reference that gets forgotten. A player that, for a lot of people, you know, he was eligible for Hall of Fame already. He's eligible to get in. But we're talking about a Dale Murphy that a lot of people think, maybe he shouldn't. Does he deserve it? What do you think?
He was he's a good player. There's no doubt about that. Started his career as a catcher, then moved to center field. He done a lot of special things, and he was a good Brave. He was a good player.
An MVP caliber player.
Yeah, he did some very special things, but man, it's tough to get into the Hall of Fame. It's very, very difficult to do.
Ask the Charros de Jalisco legend Fernando Valenzuela how tough it is. 1-2, the pitch. The runner goes, and Sepúlveda fouls it off, staying alive.
And Verdugo's been on the move a few different times from first base, but every time he does run, The hitter either fouls the ball off or puts it in play.
And you see that body language right from the catcher, like, man, I wanted to gun him out. You see it.
Be careful what you wish for. And you look down at home plate, you can see those shadows right now starting to creep over home plate. In about 2 innings, it's going to be very, very difficult for the hitters to see the baseball.
The 1-2 pitch to the Mexican batting champ. Unloads on one, just lifting it into foul territory. And there were all the ghosts to take themselves a souvenir. Take it home. 1-2 still.
It's one of the things that you run into when you have these early starts at noon. You see those shadows right there. They're starting to creep, and pretty soon they're going to be right over home plate. And it's not so hard to pick up the fastballs when those situations in the shadows come into play, but it's tougher to pick up the spin on the baseball.
The 1-2 to Sepulveda. Garcia fires in and nails. Not what he wanted to do, so now 2 runners on with 1 down for Mexico Verde. They are definitely in business now with Alan Cordova coming to the plate. Cordova got himself a base hit to start things off this afternoon. That one definitely got away from him. What do you think? He was holding on a little too tight.
Yeah, he overthrew it for sure. How about the trainer, man? Looks like he spent some time in the weight room. Look at that. Huh? Hanging out with you.
I thought it was Jose Canseco, man, for a second there.
The trainer, man, he's stronger than the players.
It's funny, you see that like in the NFL, Ed Hockley, he's the ref, and he looked more ripped than some of the guys playing linebacker.
Yeah, I was mad. I mean, not Skip Schumacher was managing the Marlins a couple of years ago. Skip's in great shape. I mean, he's got huge biceps, and he pretty much was in great shape, better shape than most guys on the team. And then we traded for Josh Bell, and then when Bell showed up, I said Skip Schumacher no longer has the biggest biceps on the team.
Yeah, Josh Bell's got some gun smoke.
He's a good man, too.
So now conversation on the hill with Garcia. Given the situation, 1 down, runners on first and second, and Mexico sending the heart of the order to the plate with Cordova, and then Amador Meneses, if they get an opportunity for Lorenzo Bundy and company, as Jose Mayorga is feeling the nervousness now after that loss they suffered yesterday against the other Mexican team. Charros de Jalisco came out and started a party with the wood. Alongside Rod Allen, I'm Adrian Garcia Marquez. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Serie del Caribe 2026 Caribbean Series on MLB Network. Alan Cordova stepping in then. Verdugo dancing around on second. Garcia tries to fire in, and he misses. A lot of times you see a mound visit, and right away the guy piles in a strike. It just tells you Garcia's trying to maybe trying a little too hard and not get hit hard. Overthinking it maybe. Saw a couple pitches already get away. The offers here. Oh, this looks like just a chopper to first. Thought maybe it was going to be strong enough to look for 2, but not going to happen. 2 down, but runners advance both in scoring position.
And nice job by Garcia settling down after the visit by the pitching coach. Threw a little cut fastball on the outside part of the plate, and Cordoba hit it right off the end of the bat. And first baseman able to come over and field it, Arnaez, and get the put out on his own.
That'll bring up Rodolfo Amador, who's done well so far after a couple of games. Just good swings that he's put onto the ball. Looking for one here. Garcia offers. Oh. And Amador is trying to jump on that one and send it to far, far away. from Acereros de Monclova, the man from Loreto. As Verdugo started things off. Now he's at second. The pitch. And Amador loved it. Rakes it into center. Verdugo's going to score. Both runs across for Mexico. So 2 ribbies for Amador. As we mentioned, he was putting some good swings. So he finds some good wood there to center field.
One of the things that Garcia's done very well today, he hasn't elevated many pitches, but here's a pitch up in the strike zone. It's a really good swing by Amador. He whistles the ball in the center field. You got runners on second and third, which means both runners are going to come home and score. Ramos in center field does not have a very strong throwing arm. Third base coach knew that, and that's why he sent both runners to score without a play.
And that's going to bring up Joey Meneses. Runner on first, 2 down. And Panama finding themselves down here again inside of the first 3 innings, looking to come back to life. And Meneses could make things even more difficult with just 1 swing. The pitch a little bit outside, appeal to first. Nothing there.
Yeah, you were talking about the numbers that Meneses put up in 2022 when he came up to the Nationals the second half of the season. 13 homers, drove in over 50 runs. He had played 10 years already in the minor leagues. He had never been to a major league spring training. Never been to a major league spring training. He arrives in the big leagues, and man, was he showing out. I had a chance to watch quite a few of those games because the Nationals pretty much in the same division as the Marlins. I broadcast games for the Marlins during the summer, and we couldn't get Meneses out, and no one could get Meneses out. So that's just how hot he was when he came up.
And it's 1-2 to Meneses with the runner on first base, a man who played for Mexico in the 2023 World Baseball Classic, and he homered twice against the United States. The pitch takes, siéntate, took a picture. But Mexico are smiling. They are leading 2-0 after Amador brought home 2. We'll be back. How are you liking Despaña's work so far?
He's done well. He's gotten ahead, changing speeds, throwing a lot of strikes, and keeping Panama off balance. Who's your top right fielder? Is it Tatis or is it Aaron Judge?
I'd say El Niño. I'd go with Fernando Tatis. All due respect, I love Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
So it's like a 1A, 1B type of situation.
It's going to be those
there.
top 3. It's going to be Judge, it's going to be Tatis, and it's going to be Soto. The top 3, in my opinion. I love the job that they do with the those right fielders and left fielders and top 10s. And what MLB does, they have like a guy that they worked for them that pretty much plays that position. So they get a lot of knowledge when they do these things.
The 1-2 pitch to Bentancur, driving it, lifting it to right center, but nice and easy for Alan Cordova. And there's 1 down. Now for you all time, the top 3 right fielders para usted, for you.
All time?
All time.
Well, it's got to be and Clemente's in there. Dave Parker's in there for me.
I love Dave Parker.
So that's 2.
Cobra.
I don't even know who number 3 is yet, but them top 2 right there. Dave Parker, I love Dave Parker.
Yeah.
My goodness, was he good. And Dwight Evans was outstanding in right field.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys, right, that also.
Tremendous player, yeah, man. A lot of good players, man, in right field.
But for me, it's you know the answer. TG19, Tony Gwynn, and Ichiro Suzuki is right up there for me as well.
He's up there too. Top 5 for sure.
But as far as cohetes, arms, can't forget Jesse Barfield. We're talking about Clemente's gunsmoke. Jesse Barfield, I mean, I still remember a couple of those throws.
That's back when it was a prerequisite to have a strong arm to play right field. That used to be a position, if you did not have a strong arm, you didn't play right field, you played left field. Center fielder was a speed position. It was the best athlete for the most part on the field. Now the shortstops in the Major League Baseball are the best athletes on the field, not the center fielders anymore. But if you didn't throw, then you played left field. That ball got a piece.
And speaking of right field, there's Luis Castillo, the right fielder for Panama, has a 2-2 count, 2-0 Mexico. Despaña, the Cuban, offers. And Castillo lifting it to right. Deep drive, And he's going to give Yadier Drake a shower, but he slips up on his way to second. So it's just a long single and frustrating for Castillo, not keeping his feet.
Not sure what he did there, but a lot of times in those situations, as a hitter, you get caught looking at the baseball, and then when you get to the base, you trip over the base. And this is unfortunate because this is a stand-up double. Let's take a look and see what happens to him. And Drake may have been playing too shallow as well. No, he got around the base. He just lost his footing.
Oof. So one down, Panama, with Arnaiz coming to the plate. Looking to...
Did you notice the different colorations of the dirt as he slid there? I don't know if it's AstroTurf, but it looks like there's dirt around the bases. And then once his foot got off the dirt, it hit the AstroTurf. It's different colored, and it seemed like that's why he slipped.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? It's like artificial turf of some sort covered with dirt. You can see it when he takes the lead if you observe how it just kind of kicks up a little bit. Just interesting. 1-1. I'm all for it. Natural everything. And in every sport, I know it's a controversial point when you talk about artificial turf in any sport. We've seen artificial turf take some of our greatest athletes away from us because it's not natural grass. Burrow's waiting on deck. Did you mind it?
I didn't mind it. Just couldn't play on it too long. I mean, you had 1 series, 2 series on that AstroTurf, man. You were ready to get out of town. I mean, the guys that had to play on turf year-round, man, it took its toll on their knees. Some guys had to end their careers because they spent so much time on that AstroTurf. They had to shut it down a little earlier than they really wanted to. Andre Dawson would be one of those.
A hawk. What a hitter. 2-2.
What a guy.
I never had the pleasure of meeting him, but from all accounts, people across baseball, that's exactly what they say. Tremendo ser humano, great human being. 3-2. And España, just a courtesy look over to first. Two 0 Mexico. Thanks to that man, Rodolfo Amador. Swing and a miss. That means, siéntate. And you've already, since we're working on your Espanol, that means please sit down.
Sit down. You didn't say please, though. You just said sit down.
I snuck in. I didn't really say por favor, siéntate. It's just siéntate. Sit down. And we say it with cariño and all due respect. The pitch, España offers to Burrows, and it's 0-1.
Some of these hitters for Panama have the leg kick, and where they lift the leg up and they try to time Despagne. And that's very difficult to do because sometimes he slide steps, sometimes he quick pitches, sometimes he takes a little bit longer time. So it's very difficult for these hitters to get their timing because he's changing speeds on everything.
Despagne.
That's a good pitch.
Offers a really good pitch off of the zone, getting frustrated with Ruben Ramos behind home plate.
Yeah, that's a good pitch.
2-1. You talk about the high leg kick. We saw it last year where Fernando Tatis Jr. made that adjustment after talking to his dad. Didn't have such a high leg kick going into last season, and the numbers would follow. And Despagne follows with the pellet right down Main Street.
You know what? The previous pitch, Burrows took a fastball that was a strike. So Despagne basically put that in his memory bank. If he took that fastball, he must be looking for something else. I'll throw him another fastball, and he'll probably throw him another fastball, and he'll take it looking for strike 3.
The pitch just a bit outside. No. Siéntate. K's him.
How about that?
This is how a chef sears the sushi just on the outside.
But Despaigne is a veteran. He could tell that Burroughs was looking for an off-speed pitch. Threw him 3 fastballs in a row.
Delicioso. We'll be back. Guadalajara, Perla, Tapatilla, and deep drive to left. Sounded like it was going to land somewhere in Guadalajara in downtown, but it's only a fly to left. Yadier Drake thought he got all of it there.
Well, anytime Drake swings the bat, it means big, he's strong, he's physical. And usually when he does make contact, he's hitting the ball where the grass doesn't grow. But that time, it looked like Garcia got in on him just a little bit. He didn't get it right on the sweet spot. Therefore, able to make a play in the outfield was Florial. Santos, excuse me, in left field. Florial's the batter.
And Florial will take the first offering just a bit outside from Garcia. Call it a strike.
Florial does not take many pitches. I mean, we've seen him a couple of times, and we also saw him in the Caribbean Series last year. He swings the bat. This guy does not take many strikes at all.
That's why he was once regarded one of the top prospects in all of Major League Baseball, according to MLB Pipeline. In 2018 and 2019, ranked 44 and 57, respectively. 1-1 for Florial, 28 years of age, from Barahona, República Dominicana. And by the way, the Dominican team resting today. And a nice little day off, well earned. Leading the way, 2-0 here in this tournament, Serie del Caribe. And taking down Charros, taking down Puerto Rico.
They beat 2 good teams.
Very good teams, yep. And strong wins. And Junior Lake, Papa. It's been an absolute star for República Dominicana, and Ramon Santiago leading the way as the manager, the former Tiger. The pitch just a bit outside, 3-1.
And through the first couple of games, Junior Lake, he's the leader in the clubhouse for the MVP of this tournament. They got a good closer too in Cordero. He's throwing 98 miles an hour.
A 3-1 pitch to Florial. Welcome.
It's one of the things I've noticed about this series the last 3 years that I've been fortunate enough to broadcast the Caribbean Series, that the starting pitchers, for the most part, they're right around 89 to 92. But most teams' bullpens, the back end of the bullpens, those guys are 95, 96, 97, kind of reminiscent to what they do in the United States these days.
Now, what's your theory? I like to ask your theory behind nowadays, why are guys more regularly? Before, it was such a rarity to find a guy throwing the high 90s, even get to the triple digits, and now it seems like pretty much every pitching staff has 3 or 4 guys that can clock 100.
I think it's technology, and I think guys are bigger, stronger, and faster. Guys are taking care of themselves. Guys are going to these labs in the off season where they're learning new pitches and they're learning about their bodies. And I just think that overall, guys are in better shape. And I think that's one of the reasons why guys are throwing a lot harder these days.
It's interesting, right? You see the changes throughout the years. Obviously, we go from a Babe Ruth, and everybody talks about Babe Ruth and using the term Ruthian and the great Bambino and all that stuff. But if I were to go back in time and I take Randy Johnson with me and I face Babe Ruth, I think Randy Johnson will take him. You agree or disagree?
Well, I saw Randy Johnson up close and personal. I saw Randy Johnson win 4 straight Cy Youngs. I was broadcasting for Arizona for 5 years, and in the 5 years I was there, Randy Johnson won 4 straight Cy Youngs. Incredible. 4 in a row.
Such a stud. Now a photographer. 2-1.
Talk about mean. He was mean.
It's like Bob Gibson mean. Garcia offers to Mendoza. The runner goes, fouls it back. Do you prefer a guy to be a little bit meaner? If say you're the manager, do you like for a guy to have that edge, or you like a Mr. Nice Guy up there?
Well, you need some guys that have edge. That much is for sure. You can't have too many nice guys, too many milk drinkers on your team. I mean, you got to have a couple of guys to stir up some things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to. You have to.
I like that one, eh? Milk drinkers. 2-2. Garcia. Again offers, and Mendoza fouls it off once more.
And Florial getting his sprints in.
Getting in a good workout now. Mendoza the DH for Lorenzo Bundy. As Jose Mayorga looking on, the manager for Panama. He will also be directing Panama in the World Baseball Classic.
He also manages during the summer in Vancouver. A-ball for the Toronto Blue Jays organization. What a beautiful place.
Oh, I love Vancouver. One of my favorite towns on planet Earth.
Beautiful.
And believe it or not, you probably, and I can't do the announcement, but I will tell you this. On Homer Street, there resides the best cheeseburger you will have in North America, maybe on planet Earth.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like, you know, you would think it'd be something else, maybe, you know, salmon related or something in that part of the Pacific Northwest. The pitch. Siéntate. Case Mendoza. But just like I found one of the best pizza pies in all of the United States in Minneapolis. Let's see it again.
Good breaking ball here. And he starts it off the plate, and you want to give up on it as a hitter, but then all of a sudden you catch the break on it and the ball starts to inch back toward home plate. I told you when these shadows got over home plate, it would be more difficult to pick up the breaking pitches than the fastballs. Fastballs you can pick up.
The runner goes. The throw from Sugaste. Safe. It was a tough pitch to work with, and Sugaste still found a way to get it over and at least close in on the throw by Florial. Too much speed, and he gets it. Let's take a look.
And Florial had a great jump, and really no opportunity to throw him out on that breaking pitch. Nice job by the second baseman grabbing that ball and trying to apply the tag.
So Mexico leading 2-0, scoring 2 in the third, looking for more here. The pitch. You know, coming into this frame, 0 walks for Panama after this point. At this point yesterday, they had already issued 9 passports.
They did not do themselves any favors in last night's contest against the Mexico Red team.
Verdugo, the shortstop, at the plate, 1-1 count. Got poisoned there, 1-2.
And if you're the base runner on second base, as soon as you see that hitter start his swing, I mean, you could be on the move because he does have 2 strikes. And if he swings through it, it doesn't really matter. But you've got to get a good secondary lead. You got to score on a base hit. You got to give yourself a chance to score. He can get a bigger lead if he wanted to.
Verdugo. Hot shot, but well played by the first baseman Arnaez. And
International crowd. The Caribbean Series continues tonight on MLB Network.
welcome to the 2026 Caribbean Series presented by DirecTV. Alongside the great Rod Allen, I'm Adrian Garcia Marquez, and it's been a pretty live game so far. Panama definitely woke up looking like they were going to threaten early on, but it's been Mexico and more Mexico as Despaña is finding his zone.
And Despaña has done a marvelous job on the mound for Lorenzo Bundy. Lorenzo knew as much because Despaña, he pitched for him during the course of the summer. He knew he would be the right guy to put on the mound so they can get a win here today, and he has not disappointed. Panama really has not been able to do anything against Despaña, and Mexico is winning the ball game 2-0.
Adrian Sugaste, the catcher. Last night came in a pinch hit, and he hit a nice laser to right here, a lift into right field. Yadier Drake changing his route, adjusting like a wide receiver in the NFL, and still making the catch.
Drake plays very shallow in right field. He's already been burned once, and he's going to get burned again if he continues to play as shallow as he is playing.
Take a look at it again there, Rod. Checking the route.
playing very shallow. As a matter of fact, all three of the guys are playing shallow. He got fooled by that ball. He came in about 5-6 steps, and before he had to retreat to go get it.
Now, how does the shadow affect maybe an outfielder trying to peek in and see it coming out of that home plate area?
No, I don't think it has much effect on the outfielder, but most of these guys have never played in this ballpark. It's a lot of elevation. I mean, you're way up and the ball travels very well. So a lot of times when balls are hit, guys come in because they feel like by the contact that was made, the ball's not going to travel, but the ball does travel well in this ballpark. It's a very good hitter's park.
Yeah, we're about, what, 5,000 feet above sea level here?
During the summer, Benji Gill's team, he manages the red team that played last night. He had 8 hitters in his starting lineup at over 300. 8 of them. Oh, good pitch.
Nasty, poison them. Siéntate.
See, he just knows how to pitch. I mean, he'll get to 94, but he doesn't stay at 94. 94 is only to show you that he has that, and he put it in your mind, and then he comes back with this pitch at 78 miles an hour.
Well, Austin Dennis looking to make some noise there, but he couldn't. But the man with the rattle loves making noise in the stands. You just saw him. There's always somebody doing something in Mexican League Baseball. It just makes it interesting in the stands. I've known guys that would get car batteries, right? They'll take the car battery out of their car, go up into the stands furthest, the last row in the back, and then they'll just grab some like jumper cables and then light up something. Makeshift noisemakers. Top of the 5th. As Panama looking to make some noise finally against España, who's been excellent representing Mexico on the hill for Tomateros de Culiacán. He offers again, just misses outside. 2-1 to Ramos. Ramos, by the way, had a minor league free agent contract with the Mets, signed in November. Here he chops it to short. Verdugo throws over to first, and of course Meneses adjusts and applies the tag to get that third out. So de España cruising in Guadalajara.
Big news. DirecTV got hot.
Thought they'd never lose those pudgy satellite dishes? Well, now they're streaming and steaming.
They've never been more flexible.
Is that DirecTV?
You bet it is.
They've got abs now, too.
I mean, apps. And you can get it with or without a device. No strings attached. It's true. DirecTV got hot. Sorry. Not sorry.
Get DirecTV. It now includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Unlimited.
Being a business owner takes hard work and a whole lot of miles. We chose the Capital One Venture X business card. We earn unlimited double miles on every purchase. And with big purchasing power, we can spend more and earn more. What's in your wallet?
Real strength isn't pushing through pain. It's treating it. When there's no pain, there's more gain. Advil Liquid Gel's target pain caused by inflammation for fast, strong relief. Advil, that's real strength.
That's rough. But hey, with SafeLight, you can get that fixed any way you want.
Anywhere I want.
It's your windshield. Get it fixed any way you want with SafeLight.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
Gillette Labs is just a fancy-looking Fusion 5? No, it ain't. It's Gillette's best shave. And its ultra-sharp blades last 50% longer. Hey, Joe, come feel my cheeks.
Dad.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Keeps getting better.
Some dream of curling up on the couch for the night. Others dream of spending all day in their outdoor oasis.
They're my favorite.
Whatever the dream, it's in reach. At IKEA, dream the possibilities.
Oh my cheese. It's the new OM Cheeseburger from Applebee's. Our juicy bacon cheeseburger served on a skillet of cheesy deliciousness. Too much cheese? Never. Applebee's new OM Cheeseburger for $11.99. Also on our 2 for $25 menu.
So Rod Allen, let's take a look at the current standings. Dominican Republic leading the way, as we mentioned. Mexico Rojo finding their way to the win last night. Puerto Rico taking one from these guys, Tomateros de Culiacán, to open it up on Sunday. They are 1-1 after losing to Dominican Republic, and Panama was punished last night by that Mexican side led by Benji Gill. 11 runs in the first 3 innings. A lot of walks and ended up costing Panama. And today they're trying to rectify, but they are down 2-0 here against Tomateros de Culiacán. Lorenzo Bundy side that rested yesterday, the pitch.
And one of the things that the Dominican team has done, led by Ramon Santiago, they have pitched better than everyone else, and they've defended better than everyone else. It's not that they've been stinging the baseball. They've played well offensively, but they've really caught the ball and they've pitched well.
A pitch to Uriarte.
Pitching and defense wins championships.
Let me ask you a question. Speaking of Dominican Republic and pitching, your thoughts on Jeffrey Yan and his antics on the mound when he strikes somebody out, just jumping up and down? And I see it 50-50. People either love it or they hate it. What are you?
I don't have a problem with it. Not these days. I mean, in the old days, I mean, guys had problems with guys that, you know, were over aggressive and guys that showed a lot of flair. But these young kids, man, these days, that's all they do. I mean, that's all they do. They have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm all for the fun. It also depends on the situation. If you hit a bomb and you're celebrating and you're up 11-0, I don't know about that. Here's Uriarte, deep drive into right. But it's only the first out here in the bottom of the fifth, and that's going to bring up Carlos Sepúlveda.
I know some people are bothered by some of the antics, and even some of the big league players are bothered by some of the antics of some of the players in baseball. But overall, the overwhelming majority of the people don't have a problem with it. If you strike somebody out and you want to dance on the mound, go ahead. And if a guy wants to flip a bat after hitting a home run, let him flip it.
Sepúlveda.
As Ken Griffey Jr. would say, let the kids play.
Let the kids play. Well, I agree. I like the show. I love to see the flair. Like we mentioned yesterday, I loved Ricky Henderson for that and many other reasons. But you got to back it up. That's the bottom line. If you're going to do that, you want to learn another word in Spanish for this week? Perrear. If you're going to do, that's what it's called. You hot dog, you're showboating. Perrear. If you're going to do that, you have to back it up. And in the case of Jeffrey Yan, he's been backing it up. He's been getting some key outs for Dominican Republic. 1-1 here for the batting champ, Diablos Rojos del Mexico, Carlos Sepúlveda. 2-0 Mexico leading. Garcia gave up those runs, but he's been battling up there.
He's pitched well. I mean, he really hasn't given up a whole lot of hard contact. He's given up the one hit when they had a couple of runners on base after walking one and giving up a base hit, but he's pretty much shut down the Mexico team. And he's put his team in a position to come back and win.
A beautiful day for baseball in Zapopan, Jalisco, Estadio Panamericano. The pitch, Sepúlveda, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Now what do you throw?
He can come back with another fastball if he wants to, because he threw that last one right by him, but more than likely he's going to throw something off speed. Fastball.
And Sepúlveda handles it nicely. Base knock into right field. The batting champ showing you why. They took one away from him in his first at bat. Hot shot over to third base between short and third. Was well handled there by Camargo. But this, there's nothing they could do about it. Unstoppable. He crushed it.
The previous pitch was a fastball and the same velocity, and you're not going to throw that fastball by Sepúlveda at the same velocity on 2 consecutive pitches. The guy hit 395 during the year. He doesn't swing and miss that often. And now you put yourself in a situation where, and more than likely on the first or second pitch, Sepúlveda's going to be on the move.
There's already activity in the bullpen now for Panama. In fact, looks like the tow truck's coming out.
It's a big boy.
And there will be a pitching change here at Estadio Panamericano in Zapopan, Jalisco. As Jose Mayorga going to his pen, trying to avoid Mexico getting ahead even more, taking the 2-0 lead, looking to make it grow here in the bottom of the fifth. One down. We'll be back.
Feel my cheeks.
Dad.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Keeps getting better.
Abdiel Mendoza on the hill. Now for Panama, looking to keep Mexico quiet. Tomateros leading 2-0. And you saw it early here with Garcia finding his way after giving up a couple of runs. And this happened in the third inning, but the first couple of frames, he was there alongside Despaigne just battling.
Well, the key for him, he's able to get ahead. And once you're able to get ahead, you're able to expand the strike zone, and that's exactly what he did. He used that cutter, he used that changeup, and he also used that breaking ball to his advantage. He pitched a very good game. Really, the only base hit plated the 2 runs that he gave up in the third frame.
Oh, he's enjoying himself.
Do it, man.
Party, viejo, party.
Do it, man.
Yeah, they're vibing it up here as the tournament moves on, and as we keep building towards Friday and Saturday. This place is going to be on fire. Alan Cordova looking to set fire here to Abdiel Mendoza, but not going to happen. Double play, so they find the pitcher's best friend. The double play, and they get out of it, and it remains 2-0. Mexico Verde. Serie del Caribe 2026 from Zapopan, Jalisco. Panama versus Mexico on MLB Network. Here in the top of the 6th, just misses, and Despaigne offering to Camargo. What have you liked so far the most from Despaigne?
And Despaigne is not giving in, and he's throwing a lot of strikes. He's kept the Panamanian squad off balance. We talked about him a little earlier. When you have guys that have 6 different pitches and they're able to throw them all for strikes, you got to pick a side. Either you look inside or you look away. You can't try to cover the entire 17 inches of home plate.
Mexico defensively also have come up in some nice plays, keeping Panama at bay. The pitch. This one can't do anything about it. Camargo drives it into center. Base knock. He's aboard here to start things off in the 6th.
The key was Camargo got himself in a nice hitter's count. 2 balls and 1 strike. You know Despaigne is not going to walk you. You know he's going to throw you a strike, and he threw a strike, and he had an absolute missile right back through the center of the diamond, and he wasn't trying to do too much there, just trying to put it in play, and that's what you got to do against a guy like Despaigne. You can't try to take him deep because he's not going to give you a whole lot to hit.
And also from the center of the bag, he throws a heavy ball, no? It makes it even more difficult here. Now Santos trying to jump on the first pitch, and he flies to center field, 1 down. And that's going to bring up Christian Bentancur. And Bentancur 0 for 2 so far in the game. So 6th inning already, some activity, just in case Despaigne has a little bit of trouble getting out of this.
And if you're Despaigne, what you're trying to get here is a ground ball off the bat of Bentancur. You'd love to get your infielders busy. They've been busy all day. They've made every single play. He starts him off with that real slow curveball under the speed limit. But he wants a ground ball here. And as good as he's been today, more than likely he's going to get it.
This looks like 2.
He's become one of the best right fielders in the game.
Gone, a home run for Judge. MLB Network breaks down the top 10 right fielders right now, tonight at 7 Eastern on MLB Network.
Bottom of the 6th. 4 knocks for each side, but 2 runs for Mexico leading the way, backing up Despaigne, the Cuban pitcher, who's been excellent. And when needing to make that one pitch to get him into a double play situation or KO him, he's been applying it nicely.
He has that kind of command today. You just knew he was going to get Bentancur to hit the ball on the ground because he's been able to get the hitters from Panama to do exactly what he wants them to do all afternoon long.
And this is the man responsible for the 2 runs for Mexico. Rodolfo Amador drives it to center, puts a charge into it, and it's going to go over the center fielder Ramos. And he's gotten himself a double bouncing off of the wall. That was a nice drive into center field. But as you said early on, it's tough to read those. And there he took a little shower. Take a look at it again.
Also said that their outfielders are playing very shallow and they were going to get burned before the game was over. And this is exactly what happens here. This ball does short hop the gate. I don't think Ramos gets to it. But fact of the matter is he's playing super, super shallow. And maybe that's what they want to do. And that ball is right over his head.
And Amador, 2 for 3 so far, has been the star at the plate for Tomateros. Here in the bottom of the 6th, looking for more, Joey Meneses. Who's a menace at the plate. The pitch. Strike.
And usually when you have your number 4 hitter up and you got a runner on second base and nobody out, you're not necessarily trying to move him over. You're trying to drive him in. He's batting in that number 4 spot for a reason.
Kicks low and in. 1-1. And this is from Culiacán, Sinaloa. Proudly representing Tomateros. The 1-1 pitch. And Meneses splits the diamond in half. The runner coming home. The throw. Gunned him. Erased him from the map. Nice throw from Ramos. So you saw what was happening earlier with Amador, just hitting that ball over him. Well, he gets his payback here. Chuk, chuk, boom. Look at it again. And Amador suffered a little bit there on the slide. Head first into home plate. But Ramos making up for what happened moments ago when he got that double as Amador being tended to. Not feeling right.
Yeah, he's hurt. Really no need for this collision at home plate. I mean, you have nobody out, and there's no need in running into an out at home plate, and that's just not a good sight here. I mean, his head just bangs into the dirt here.
Yeah.
But if you're the third base coach there, the ball hits sharply up the middle. He's out by 5 feet. You do not have to run him into an out for the first out at home plate. You got runners on first and third, and you got your number 5 hitter coming up.
And Amador getting up. And still, even though the throw got there before he did, he almost snuck in there.
Yeah, but still, you don't have to do that.
You don't. I agree.
You don't have to run him into an out there.
Yep. Take the first out at home, so erase him courtesy of Jose Antonio Ramos in center field. There's one down and a runner at first.
Now ground ball gets him out of the inning.
And that brings up Yadier Drake. Drake's going to take inside.
And good throw by the center fielder.
It also kind of benefited when that little hop from the mound kind of just accelerated the ball to the catcher as well. So
it's very difficult to throw runners out at home plate from center field because of the mound. So many times it hits the mound and it bounces up in the air. So you got to have a really strong arm to get it over that mound to get the true bounce to get the ball to the catcher on the one bounce.
And it looked like that's what happened. No, just got it just past the rubber, right on the lip. Took a little extra acceleration right into the catcher's mitt. And Sugaste handled it from there as Amador is okay. Put a couple witch boogers right there where he suffered that little knock. He'll be all right. 3-1. Meneses at first base as Panama looking to roll a double play and get out of this. The pitch could be here. Slow chopper is going to be difficult. Not happening. So Yadier Drake, it's a chopper, but he gets on board. 2 runners on and 1 down.
I think if Camargo could do this all over again, he would probably barehand it with one hand and then flip the ball across the diamond. This is a very difficult play. If you're coming in, you're trying to use your glove and then transfer the ball to the throwing hand to get the out. He would have been better served because it's not hit very hard and it's on the right side of the body. Just barehand it. And if you miss it, so be it. But it's going to be a difficult play trying to field it the way that he fielded it and get an out. Because
Commissioner of Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Lorenzo Bundy consents on the victory here. That's what he wants. 2-0 lead. As we were going over the copyright, you saw the Basílica de Nuestra Señora de Zapopan. a pilgrimage. Every year, over 1 million people come to Zapopan, Jalisco just to visit that church there, Rod. As we mentioned, one of the institutions that we talk about, you know, the churches and religion in Mexico, Catholicism is very strong, but also the religion that is baseball here in Jalisco strong, just like soccer. The pitch, 0-2 immediately to Esteban Florial.
If you're the base runners on first and second, you got to be careful on line drives, and you can't get doubled off. You have to know where all the infielders are playing. Every single pitch, if you're a base runner, you have to take a look around to see where the infielders are playing, just in case they move, because when a ball's hit on the line, you do not want to think it's going to get through and get doubled off.
Enormous possibility here for Tomateros de Culiacán, Mexico Verde. With Florial at the plate, the pitch by Gonzalez, who came in to relieve, you know, and Garcia started for Panama. And then we saw Mendoza come in, get him into the double play, get out of the inning. So far, a lot different what we've seen out of Panama's pitching today as opposed to yesterday when they were issuing walks left and right.
Outstanding block right here. It keeps your double play in order. If that ball somehow gets 2 or 3 feet to the left or to the right, now you have runners on second and third instead of first and second. Ground ball gets you 2.
And Florial says, I'm not jumping on that one. Let it fly. 2-2.
You want to make it happen right here if you're Gonzalez. Count 2-2. You don't want to run the count to 3-2 and give the Mexico squad the opportunity to start the runners.
And Florial chopping a foul, staying alive, but nodding at Gonzalez like, I got you. I'm on it. Now, as a former player, when you nod, Rod, you're like, all right, yeah, good pitch, I got you, but I'm all over. Is that what it means, or is it false bravado, kind of like letting them know?
No, a lot of times it's letting them know it's a good pitch. Now decision time for Lorenzo Bundy. And does he dare start the runners? And Florial, for the most part, good contact hitter, but he is a left-handed swinger. They got a 2-run lead.
The pitch. Siéntate.
And wise decision not sending them to. Good pitch. 0-2 was the count at the beginning. He worked it to 3-2, and then he comes back with a 2-seamer at the bottom of the strike zone at 86, and Florial couldn't time it with that high leg kick.
That's going to bring up Victor Mendoza. Gonzalez offers the vitamin K and gets it. Now there's 2 down, still 2 runners aboard. There's Mendoza, the DH. Looking to drive in, at least to run. And Jose Mayorga looking to avoid it. Thanks to his bullpen, offers another strike quickly, 0-2.
Yeah, nice glove work behind the dish. Yeah, taking that ball that looked like it was at the bottom of the strike zone and ever so slightly with the glove pulling it up to get the strike call.
Siéntate! Another K. And this will close the door quickly. Gonzalez throwing some poison to Tomateros de Culiacán. All your friends, call everybody, let them know Serie del Caribe is going to be on fire as we work our way to the weekend here on MLB Network. And both of these teams trying to catch fire, get that first win, and get back into the mix after suffering losses in their openers. Top of the 7th, and Despagne, the Cuban, still dealing. 0-1 to Luis Castillo, the right fielder.
And through the first 6 frames of this contest, Despagne has not even busted a sweat yet. A lot of first pitch strikes. And then when he's able to get ahead, he just expands the strike zone. He's going north and south with that fastball at 92. He's going east and west with the cutter and the breaking pitch at 77, down and into the left-handed batters. He's got pitches for everybody.
And there's been activity over the last inning or so, couple of innings for Lorenzo Bundy just in case, but Despagne has been able to find the pitches he's looking for. 1-2.
That last fastball up was just a show me pitch to Castillo. This is the one he wants to get him out with.
And Castillo's able to put a little bit of madera on it, foul. Good work, kid. That's how you field it up in this artificial turf. See, he didn't have a tough time. You know, he knows this field.
Right. This is home. This is home stadium. There's that breaking ball. Oh. Wow, that's 67.
This is something Bugs Bunny would throw. Check it out again.
Oh, that's a ball, though.
It is. Little in.
Yeah, I mean, he can't be complaining about that.
And the 2-2 pitch, another foul there by Castillo, staying alive. Now working the full count, so making them labor a little bit more than Despagne wants to is Luis Castillo. Castillo drives it into right, and he will get on board for Panama. They are in business. Tying run coming to the plate now.
And a good swing by Castillo. He fell behind 0-2, and to work the count back to 3-2 to get a fastball. And he got that fastball from Despagne, and he smoked the ball right between first and second. Great effort by the second baseman, Sepulveda, but he could not knock it down. You love to see the guys leave their feet in the infield.
And Lorenzo Bundy is going to go to the pen. That's enough for Despagne. He gets the applause. Good, solid performance from the Cuban.
Anthony Ghost came into the contest and hit one and walked one. I don't know if we're going to see Ghost in the ninth inning today, but Lorenzo Bundy is going to try to piece this one together, hoping to get some outs late in the contest.
So a good performance by Despagne. I mean, Lorenzo Bundy said, here's the pearl. Give me a joyita. Give me a nice performance. And he did. 6 innings scoreless, Kane 4 in the process, and just making his pitches.
His bullpen is well rested. I'm talking about Lorenzo Bundy of the Mexico squad. But he's got to get his guys to throw some strikes.
That's going to bring up Gene Arnaez for Panama, representing the tying run. Squaring up. The pitch. A little high and tight, fouling it off. Sasagi not playing.
It's not often that you see a team trailing by 2 runs and you got one runner on and you're trying to butt one runner into scoring position. So basically you're giving up an out to get one runner into scoring position. First and second, maybe, but you usually don't see this.
The 31-year-old from Mazatlan, Sinaloa offers. Nice dropping of the bunt down first base. Sacrifice handled nicely. Panama advancing the runner. 1 down here at the top of the 7th. And Sasagi knows this mountain quite well. This was his home ballpark. Played for Charros de Jalisco in 2024 before joining Tomateros.
Good bunt. Arnaya is able to get it down exactly where he wanted it. Nice play by the first baseman, Joey Meneses.
So now 1 down, 2-0 Mexico. Abraham Rodriguez stepping in as a pinch hitter now. In for Burrows, the second baseman, and Sasagi deals, fires, enters, strike. Rodriguez coming in, batting .333. Just a couple of opportunities here, and a great one for Panama here with him at the plate. Sasagi Sanchez offers just off 1-0. So what do you want to throw him here if you're Sasagi Sanchez, given the situation, one down, and the type of hitter that Rodriguez is?
You want to throw a strike. And whatever pitch that you can command the best is the pitch that you want to throw. If it's a breaking ball or a fastball, and they're going to talk about it too.
For Sasagi Sanchez, this is his 7th season with Tomateros. Had a 3-1 record and a 3.25 ERA over 28 relief appearances in 2026. As I mentioned last year, with Charros de Jalisco, 29 appearances on this field. And for Charros overall, 4.25 ERA. So this is his 3rd Caribbean series since 2021. Plenty of experience. And nonetheless, they want to have the conversation. Lorenzo Bundy is not messing around today. They need this win to compete, being that Mexico has 2 sides in this tournament. And their arch nemesis, Charros de Jalisco, already won. They're trying to even it up in the standings.
Yeah, Lorenzo Bundy, tremendous manager in winter ball. He's managed a lot of years, 27 years in the winter he has managed in Mexico. 775 wins for Lorenzo Bundy.
Sanchez offers Rodriguez, bows it back 2-2.
Second only to Paquin Estrada. He has 856.
To remember one of the first catcher's mitts that I ever got was a Paquin Estrada special.
Yeah.
You know how they always had those signatures?
Yeah.
Very center.
Yes, indeed.
But again, for me, the reason why I wanted to catch was because I saw this guy named Benito Santiago arrive in San Diego, and every kid since then wanted to throw people out from their knees and wear number 9 and all that good stuff. That's a pretty decent work behind the dish today from both of the receivers, Sugaste and Uriarte for Mexico.
And Santiago would have been perfect for baseball these days because you have a lot of catchers that have one knee on the ground.
You know what? That brings up that point. What's your take on that, the one knee?
It works. I mean, I don't, you know. The things they're doing in baseball these days is working. I'm not going to complain about any of it.
The 2-2 from Sasagi Sanchez to Abraham Rodriguez. Fouling it back, staying there at the plate. Okay. And as of 2025, thanks to our great stats group, 95% of the catchers do the one knee.
99% of the catchers do it. 99%.
2-2. I don't know. I like the tradition. The pitch. Good. Swing. Base knock. Driving in a run. Knocking out that donut from the scoreboard. Panama is in business. 2-1 ball game. 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Abraham Rodriguez paying off as a pinch hitter for Jose Mayorga.
Outstanding at bat. I mean, as a pinch hitter, it's one of the most difficult things to do on a baseball field is come off the bench after you've been sitting for 7 innings and then get yourself a quality at bat and do some damage. But that's exactly what Rodriguez does. He whistles this ball down in the right field corner, runner on second base, no problem scoring. Lorenzo Bundy's team had a commanding lead just a couple of days ago. They had 5 runs, but they didn't score anything after the first and second. They have not scored many runs, and now they've allowed Panama to get back into this game.
And immediately Adrian Sugaste, the catcher, trying to jump on that first pitch. Last night, he came off of the bench and laced a laser into right field himself.
Takes a special kind of player, man, to come off that bench and be able to have a really good at bat and do some damage.
Sasagi offers just a bit outside, and swinging and fouling it off is Sugaste. So now we have an 0-2 count, runner on second. One down. It's the tying run, and Mexico trying to conserve its minimal lead. Lorenzo Bundy feeling the heat and going to one of his best relievers, hoping he gets this locked down. Sasagi Sanchez. The offering to the Venezuelan catcher. Gets in on the hands. Chopper, middle infield, handled nicely there by Sepulveda, but the runner will advance 90 feet away now, and there's 2 down.
And Rodriguez on third base. You got 2 outs, and you got to be aware of the ball that might bounce, and you have to get a good secondary lead. If you do get a good secondary lead, you can score.
Pretty clean work overall, no, as far as the Mexican infielders are concerned. They've had their opportunities and have demonstrated great ability with the leather.
They played a pretty nice game, pitch catch today for sure.
That brings up Austin Dennis.
Dennis has 1 hit in the game.
Yep. And he tried to get that second one there with that swing and missed on 1. Sasagi trying to tuck it in there, and Dennis could not resist, quickly 0-2.
And you may as well come back with another fastball, but just not down the middle, maybe elevated a little bit. Looks like Dennis is having a difficult time of catching up to the fastball, so don't do him any favors by throwing him a breaking ball for a strike. If you throw him a breaking ball, make sure it's out of the strike zone, but you don't want to bounce it. You've thrown 2 fastballs right by him. You might as well come back with another one.
The offering to the man that's been playing indie ball for the New York Boulders in the Frontier League since 2021, where he's hit .342 overall. And working with an 0-2 count, the offering. Dennis tries to take it the other way, but it's a grounder to the second baseman. Sepulveda handles it from there. And the work is done. Sasagi Sanchez does give one up. We have a ball game, 2-1. At Estadio Panamericano in Zapopan, Jalisco. Way on to the Friars this season in spring training. Luis Verdugo, the shortstop. And Severino Gonzalez continues on the mound. He did a good job coming in for the pen. Look at Mago con guante. Ramos coming up and flashing the leather. Rod Allen, take it away.
It's a great catch. I mean, there's no doubt about that, because if Lorenzo Bundy gets a runner on first base, he's going to be bunting. He got a great jump on this ball. He came in, he left his feet, and made an outstanding catch for the first out of the inning. Great concentration, watching the ball into the glove.
And the Mets are watching this. They have to love it. Elected free agency after the 2025 season, signing a minor league contract with the Metropolitanos on November 26th. Quick liner from Uriarte, and quickly 2 down.
2 pitches, 2 outs. If you're Sepulveda, the leadoff hitter, you have to at least take 1 pitch. You have to take 1 pitch. And Sepulveda was not here a couple of days ago. He was finishing up his season in Venezuela. But he's here now, leadoff hitter for Lorenzo Bundy's team. That's why Florial was the leadoff hitter on Sunday night.
So defensively, we see Arnaiz making a move over to second base as Rodriguez, the pinch hitter, takes over first base. And Ryan Burroughs, who was pinch hit for out of the game. 1-1 count here. Gonzalez to Cristian Sepulveda, the batting champ for Diablo Rojos, and fouling it off. 1-2. So you got to like what Gonzalez has done since he's come in from the bullpen, not messing around.
Well, you got to throw strikes. You got to come in. You got to go right after guys, and that's exactly what he's done. However, this is the tough out right here. And this guy does not swing and miss very often. hit .395 during the summer.
Sepulveda fouling it off, staying there with 2 strikes. But the more we see him, the more we like that cut, huh? Doesn't surprise me that he hit .395, hovering around 400. It's that type of hitter. Nothing here. Siéntate! In the Serie del Caribe. So we're really going to start seeing who's who as we work our way to tomorrow and into Friday and Saturday as we start the 8th inning. And Panama getting things started with the base knock. And that was Ramos, by the way. And Ramos making that stellar play in center field, keeping things as they were.
It was a good play. And you wonder what they're going to do here with and nobody out. You got a runner on first base. You got your number 2 hitter up, Camargo, who's a good hitter. Do you bunt him here to get a runner in scoring position? We'll see.
But Johan Camargo
not bunting him. He's going to let Camargo swing it. I can't blame him.
I mean, you have 7 seasons of Major League Baseball under your belt. Jose Mayorga wants it to show here in the top of the 8th, looking for 1. This one slightly gets away from Uriarte. Is able to recover. Runner does not advance.
Baseball is just a funny game, and you really don't know how certain managers like to manage. Last half inning, Panama was losing by 2 runs. They had a runner on first base, and they bunted him in the scoring position. They ended up scoring a run, so, I mean, you can't hate on that. But now they have a runner on first, and they don't bunt.
And Camargo lifts it into short right field. Sepulveda dropping back and making the play nice and easy. 1 down.
So they bunt the guy in the scoring position last half inning, and that's only going to be 1 run, which they got. I mean, and they could have had a big inning. You never know, but then they don't bunt here.
And taking a look at Nuestra Señora de Zapopan. Again, a pilgrimage every year of over 1 million people coming in to Zapopan, into Guadalajara, just to visit this place. It's kind of like people go to Paris, you go to Notre Dame, right? So it's the same thing here at the Basilica de Nuestra Señora de Zapopan. 8th inning, top of the 8th, 2-1. Tomateros leading. Federales de Chiriquí, Johnny Santos at the plate. And the offering to the former Marlin, just a bit outside, 2-0.
I guess the $1 million question here this evening, I mean, yeah, it's evening now, is if they do go to the 9th inning with a 1-run lead, does Lorenzo Bundy use Anthony Gose again, who he used a couple of days ago? And when this tournament started, Gose was a closer, but you can't lose another game, and he wasn't throwing strikes. My guess is no.
You don't think he'll go to him?
I don't think so. Not with what's at stake. But we'll see.
Yeah, because he did have that day of rest. Maybe figures into Bundy's thinking, but I'm with you. The pitch. Santos. Flies out to center field. 2 down as Córdoba handles it there. So you like what you're seeing there with Córdoba just coming in, firing strikes, been the name of the game. Leading the way was Despagne, showing them the map.
Only 8 pitches. I mean, if he gets out of this inning with only 10 pitches, I mean, he might go back out for the 9th. We'll see.
So bring up the veteran Cristian Bentancur. Plenty of experiences playing for Panama in 2022 and 2024 Caribbean Series. Here he swings and misses 0-1.
And Betancourt spent all of last year in AAA in Toronto Blue Jays organization.
And talk about a game of inches, huh? When it comes to the Blue Jays. You know that they're replaying that Kiner Falefa run from third to home over and over and over in their minds. But I think in Dave Roberts' case, I mean, that stroke of genius to add Miguel Rojas and that defensive IQ since game 6, and it paid off for him.
And not only that, he put Paez into the game at the right time with the game on the line. If Paez is not in center field, the Dodgers don't win the World Series. That play that he made when he and Kiki Hernandez jumped into each other was incredible.
And that's another guy, Kiki Hernandez, figuring also with that IQ when it most mattered for the Dodgers. Those little details that will show up when it matters most. As you said, here's the pitch. Throw him the poison. Wait, what? Let's rewind the tape.
A balk, maybe.
Was it catcher's interference?
No.
It was a balk?
If it was catcher's interference, he'd be going to first base. I think it may have been a balk.
Yeah, you didn't see him moving. So
Lorenzo Bundy's not happy with this.
I want to see this. Where was it?
He looked like he stopped.
Let's see here. So it's 1-2. Song remains the same. Let's see what Córdoba offers Bentancur this time. Not biting. And it's 2-2. Try to get him to go fishing. Didn't work out.
I'm trying to decide what he called it. They didn't say balk, so they must have said the ball dropped. He didn't catch it cleanly or something.
And having Uriarte kind of thinking, but I thought I caught it. Everyone thought he caught it. Lorenzo Bundy thought he caught it, but let's see.
They called the balk.
If this doesn't become bigger with Bentancur at the plate, tries to paint the fastball outside, doesn't get the call from Ruben Ramos. But the umpires in the stands think otherwise.
It was outside. Throw the same pitch.
And this time, yes. Siéntate. Kazan.
Bethencourt's asking the home plate umpire, why don't you get some help on that one?
So for Córdoba, thought he had the K a couple pitches ago. Gets it here. And Mexico still on top, 2-1.
It's to claim Winterfall's international crowd. The Caribbean Series continues tonight on MLB Network.
Bottom of the 8th inning. El Estadio Panamericano Zapopan, Jalisco, Serie del Caribe Caribbean Series 2026 on MLB Network. Alan Córdoba stepping in there, the heart of the order, coming up with Córdoba. Amador Meneses due up. And Gonzalez dealing quickly. He's worked pretty fast and has stayed in the strike zone.
And he's done a nice job keeping the team from Mexico off balance. Mexico scored 2 runs in the 3rd inning, and they have been shut down since then.
Paints it inside. Kazam looking. And Alan Córdoba definitely took that picture with no smile at all. See it again, Gonzalez.
Yeah, it might have been a hair off the plate, but maybe too close to take.
That's going to bring up Amador, who's been the hero this afternoon for Lorenzo Bundy's team. He's got both ribbies, looking for more. That's his 3rd base hit of the game. He's gone 3 for 4. He's definitely been a factor with the wood.
Thought maybe he would have to leave this contest after that collision at home plate, banging his head into the dirt, but he stayed in there and got himself another hit.
Right on top of it, all over it. He's been seeing it well today. And he's got over 1,700 games now in the Mexican League, including Pacific Winter League. See the experience, not messing around to date.
It's a lot of baseball.
A lot. Mucho baseball.
Baseball.
And a pitching change on the way for Panama. It's a 2-1 ball game. As Culiacán trying to extend the lead with the run on first, 1 down. And Joey Meneses coming to the plate. That's all for Gonzalez. We'll be back. As Jose Mayorga is giving him that pearl, telling him, please shut them down with the run on first and 1 down here in the 8th bottom.
Yeah, well, Mayorga wants somebody in there that has some swing and miss stuff, and that's exactly why he's gone to his bullpen.
España all smiles. A solid performance this afternoon.
Spectacular.
Kept Panama quiet.
He did his job for sure.
And as the fans are applying the hit sticks, Meneses will also bring his hit stick to the plate now. Looking to make more of a difference here as Lorenzo Bundy wants a little bit more breathing room to even things out at 1-1 and get back into this tournament.
Yeah, especially the way that the back end of his bullpen pitched a couple of days ago. Don't know if we'll see ghosts, but I have a feeling that he will not pitch the ninth today.
So a key situation here with a Major League caliber hitter in Joey Meneses. He struggled a little bit in this Serie del Caribe, at least here these first couple of games. First pitch offered, he's going to lift it into right field. This might just drop in there. It does. Fair ball. So Meneses, maybe it didn't look like the line drive he likes to hit, but it looks like a line drive in the book nonetheless. Runners on the corners with one down for Mexico.
He'll take it, no doubt. Got jammed on the pitch from Mejia, but the right fielder, Castillo, playing very deep in the outfield, not able to get over and make a play. And the runner on first base, Amador, able to go all the way over the third base. So Mexico in business here with the possibility of getting an insurance run. Runner on third base and just one out. And you got Drake in the batter's box.
Yadir Drake already has a base knock, 3 at-bats. Looking for more with that swing. A bit late on that cutter. So Amador 90 feet away. Meneses at first. The pitch. Drake right back to the pitcher. Mejia makes a nice play. And then taking a look quickly over to third base is Camargo, but that is not what Lorenzo Bundy wanted to see here.
And Lorenzo Bundy's fortunate enough because Mejia had 2 there. I mean, that ball was a one-hopper right to him. He could have gone to second base, and the shortstop or second base could have turned an easy double play. I know the runner from third base is running, but take a peek. This ball's in his glove. You go to second base, you get the double play, you get out of the inning. I know that he took the out there because the runner was running right in front of his face, but that is a double play ball right there.
So another situation for Amador from third to home, getting caught up and eliminated. So,
and what he does is he gives Florial an opportunity to drive in a run here.
So you would have opted instead for him to just turn it and go.
Oh, for sure, double play ball.
So let's see if that decision by Mejia doesn't cost Panama against Florial, who could be dangerous at the plate and is looking like he's lurking to be dangerous. The pitch. And he drives it right back to the shortstop, line drive, and that will do it. We go to the top of the 9th. Panama, so you were right. Gose isn't the man he calls upon. He's asking Guadalupe Chavez to put the 3 locks on the door and the win and get them back into contention and into the win column. The pitch. And the first offering to Luis Castillo, lifted into right center. 1 down.
And 1 pitch, 1 out.
So some tightly contested games here so far, Rod.
Yes, indeed. I like the contested games. That means you have to play the game the right way. You got to do something offensively, defensively, make some plays.
Except for, of course, last night for Panama. Getting shelled by Charros de Jalisco early on and giving up a lot of walks in the process today. They were a lot better about just keeping that ball in the zone and making Tomateros hitters work.
And I know it's a tough decision for Lorenzo Bundy with Ghost being the closer in game 1, but what's at stake? You had to get a win, and he felt like Chavez was the best opportunity at getting a double here by getting the 3 outs.
And for Panama, things will start to get a little bit more complicated as they try to survive in this tournament. If they start off 0-2, they still have to face Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. The pitch And it's a base knock, so the tying run is aboard for Jose Mayorga and Panama. So the manager's got to be happy with the work done there by Hernandez getting on base.
If you're Chavez on the mound, really no need to panic here. I mean, what you're looking for is the ground ball still. You've got some good velocity. You've got some good sink on your two-seamer as well. You want to work at the bottom of the strike zone to get the ground ball to see if you can get two to finish it off.
So that's going to bring up Abraham Rodriguez, who came in to pinch hit, raked that double, and gave Panama their only run. And speaking of run, pinch runner in for the Panamanian side here in the top of the ninth with one down. And coming to the plate then, as mentioned, Abraham Rodriguez, who could be dangerous with the bat. And Catui is the man that came in to run for Arnaiz. So he's the pinch runner. He's at first base, and he's got some wheels.
He looks like he can run.
The 0-1, nasty.
Filthy. 77 miles an hour.
What was the word you learned?
What is it? Sucio.
Sucio.
Sucio. Close enough.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. That's what that was. 0-2, Catui now. Extra. Attentive to what Guadalupe Chavez does on his way to home. The pitch. Lifted by Rodriguez. Not happening. Verdugo, or excuse me, Sepulveda all over it. And a nice combo there in the middle of the infield with Verdugo and Sepulveda. Pretty sure glove.
And Mexico's played a solid game defensively. And that's how you win one-run games.
And we have a pinch hitter coming up now for Panama. It's Jose Ramos batting for Adrian Sugaste, the catcher. As you hear the chants, Mexico, Mexico, the supporters for Tomateros in the house of the arch nemesis Charros de Jalisco. They are playing later on this afternoon.
And Caballero, real late on that 93-mile-per-hour fastball, using that Mizuno bat. Kind of bats I used when I played over in Japan for 3 seasons.
So Caballero, the offering, and it works for Jose Mayorga, paying off with the pinch hitter. Base knock, 2 aboard for Panama, 2 down. But all they need is 1 base knock here, a base hit drives in the run, and we are back in business 2-2.
And Caballero was a little tardy on the first fastball, but he got another fastball, and it was up in the strike zone. He wasn't late on this one. He took the right path with the bat, and he got inside the baseball, hit a seed to right field for a solid single. He made a nice adjustment.
So now a conversation will happen on the mound as Tomateros just need to lock it down. And for Lorenzo Bundy, you know him well in this situation. He's just needs his guys to just lock one more door.
They had a gut-wrenching loss just a couple of nights ago where they had a 1-run lead going into the 9th inning and gave up a hit and that plated 2, and they lost the game in walk-off fashion.
And Catui, who's at second base, he can fly. 23 stolen bags, 92 games in the Arizona Diamondbacks system, and that brings up Austin Dennis, who can make that contact, drive in that run, anything to the outfield, and it suggests with Catui's speed, he's scoring. The pitch. Dennis lifts it into right field. This could do it. Yadir Drake secures the win for Tomateros de Culiacán, Rodal.
Good win for Lorenzo Bundy's team. They lost a gut-wrenching game just a couple of days ago, but they came back today. Despagne, their starter, pitched 6 really good frames before leaving the contest, kept Panama off the board early, and that allowed them to come back and win the game and take a selfie in the outfield, the outfielders.
And they are limited but good defensive play, a good team win this afternoon for Lorenzo Bundy's side. Understanding what was at stake, a must-win situation, and they got it done.
You know, I also like his decision, too. I know it was a tough decision because Ghost is his closer, but he felt like in this particular situation, not going to Anthony Ghost today would not put him in a situation where it was too much pressure, and it also would allow Chavez to come in and close the game out for him.
So Guadalupe Chavez does put the tres candados, the 3 locks on the door, gets the win, securing it. The faith deposited in him by that man right there, Lorenzo Bundy, paying off, and Tomateros are back in the win column.
How cool and calm and collected is Bundy? I mean, he's just sitting there. He don't want to smile. He don't want to say nothing. But you know what? That's the kind of temperament that you need out of your manager. You don't want him too high. You don't